Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're here with a different kind of video. This is another one of those start of the year videos where I just share how I'm going to try and reach my reading goals, and one of them is to keep up with my reading journal. Last year in 2025 was the first year in a long time where I didn't make a reading journal with spreads. That's what I used these old Archer and Olive notebooks for. Last year I decided that I would use my traveler's notebook, and I just made a very simple spread of my books that I read. I had them in one of these. This is what I read, and this is how I kept track. And then I just did like my physical unread books, and then I did a few challenges, and I did my monthly TBRs. As you can see, I started in July because I didn't have a reading journal that I was keeping up with at the beginning of the year. Actually, that's not true. I did try a reading journal that was already pre-made. It just didn't work for what I needed it, so I ended up not using that. But this is what I ended up finishing off the year with. And then I was going to do the same thing again this year. I had my book journal set up, and then I did my title page for all my books where I was gonna put in the pictures just in the same format because I didn't want to do a whole reading journal again. But after watching so many videos about book journals and seeing everybody set up their own, I realized I really missed that aspect of book journaling, so I decided to give it another shot. So instead of an Archer and Olive, I ended up picking up this notebook from Amazon. The brand is called Dingbats, and I got here like in a day because we do have Prime shipping. It's not the same kind of quality of the cover. This one seems more like a fabric style as opposed to like this fabric that Archer and Olive is known for. The sizing is similar, but not exactly the same. And the quality of the pages is good, but definitely it's not up to the Archer and Olive standard of pages. But I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to keep up with the reading journal this year, so I didn't want to spend as much as I usually do for Archer and Olives. They run for at least $35 or more. I wasn't sure if I wanted to spend that much, so I ended up buying this budget-friendly alternative on Amazon, and we'll see how it holds up. It does have a pen holder, it does have the elastic, and it has like the bookmarks. So I think it'll work fine for what I need it. It's just definitely not the same quality as my previous book journals, but again, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to keep up with it you know, as consistently this year since I didn't do it last year. But so far I've set up my journal. I'm really excited to use it. I have a couple updates I need to make to it as of now because I've read one book. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I normally don't decorate my cover page like most people do. I know some people like write their name. Normally I write my name, but I couldn't be bothered with it. Especially with this, there's so much going on this page. I feel like I just didn't want to add anything to it. So maybe I'll add my name at some point, but so far I didn't feel the need to. I always leave the first page blank, and then this is like my title page. So I wrote "Magic lives between the pages." That's a quote I found on Pinterest. I usually start my notebook with a quote just so that this page doesn't have a lot going on. Usually I draw something, but I joined Sticky Club late last year, and I have a ton of stickers that I want to use up. So most of my spreads are done with stickers. Just because I want to make sure that I use those up. I already canceled my Sticky subscription. I don't need as many stickers anymore because it was just a lot come each month, and I'm more of a minimalist, so I don't need to have as many stickers coming in each month. So my first spread here is my Reading to Zero shelf. I have this challenge in my own mind that I do every year which is trying to read all the unread books off my shelf, books that I physically own. So this is what my Reading to Zero challenge is. I'll be writing books that I read from my own shelves on here, and I don't have a list of them that I made this year, which I really wish I had now, looking back, but I didn't do that. So we're just gonna move right along. Here I'll be writing books read. So I need to update that since I already read one book. And then I left 2 pages blank so I can continue this because obviously only 35 books fit here. And then my goal is to read 100, which last year, you know, we did good. I made a favorites page for this year. I'm really hoping to choose a favorite book from each month to add on here. I have a hard time giving books 5 stars. I'm just kind of like a harsh rater. So my goal is to at least add 1 book in here, even if it's a 4-star or even a 3-star, as long as it's my favorite book of the month. That way I can see which books I really enjoyed more than others. So my next page is favorite quotes. I am not great at this, writing down my favorite quotes. I like the idea of doing it. I've done it before and I'll add like 2 or 3 quotes, but again, since I usually don't have a lot of favorite books, I don't have a lot of favorite quotes. So yeah, this is gonna be my arc tracker. I think I have like 8 arcs on NetGalley that I need to write onto here and get them read. A few have been published already. Actually, most of them have been published, and you know, I just need to read them so that I can get my rating percentage or my reviewing percentage up. So hopefully I can get those. I really love, so all these stickers that you see are from Sticky Club. I really love these cat ones. You'll see I use them a lot in my next couple spreads. So 12 Recs by 12 Friends. This is my first time doing this challenge, and I asked people on Bookstagram and on my personal Instagram to recommend books for me. I also asked on Patreon for the Patreon book clubs that I'm a part of, and so I did get a few suggestions. I actually already read one of the books on here and I really enjoyed it. I added a ton of cats up here. I was trying to make it to 12 cats so it represented like the 12 friends, but I think there's only like 11. There's only 11, so we almost made it, but I ran out of cat space. But yeah, I'm hoping to read at least 1 a month, but a lot of my holds are coming through on Instagram. I mean, on Libby, so I'll probably be reading more of these sooner rather than later. Like I already have this one on Libby waiting for me. I just got a notification that this one's available. I think I had to suspend something. I don't know which one, but I already read Under Your Scars. That was the first book I finished this year. The A to Z challenge, that's just a fun challenge I like doing each year, where I try to like read 1 book for each, or 1 book with the title that falls under each letter. I normally do this one every year. These stickers also came in the Sticky Club. I am doing the coffin cover challenge. That's a challenge that Jan Agathon hosts over on her Patreon. This is the month and the basically prompt for what to read. I already have a book in mind for January, so there's that. My book of the month challenge is basically reading all the book of the month books that I have on my shelf. It goes right along with my Reading to Zero challenge because it's just books that I have on my shelf already. I'm no longer a member of Book of the Month, so all the ones I have now are all I'm gonna have unless I buy them used. I really enjoy collecting the Book of the Month books. I like how they look because they're always hardcover and they have like that little B symbol on the side. I know some people don't like that, but I do like how they look uniform on my shelf. So I have a lot of them. I've been a Book of the Month member for years and years now, but I finally decided to cancel my subscription. I tried Aardvark for a month and I decided not to continue that. I'm just trying to be more I'm trying not to spend as much money into the new year, so I canceled a lot of things at the end of last year, especially because my financial situation was going to change a little bit. So yeah, anyways, book of the month challenge. I just want to read all the books that I have on my shelf. I think I'm going to put the covers of the books on here. I haven't decided yet how I want to do this layout specifically, but once I get some of those books read, I'll be able to decide better. Next couple pages are my book club spreads, and basically they're the spreads with just the month and the books that I'm reading that month for my book clubs. This Skeptic Readers Book Club is my buddy read with my friend Jamie. We buddy read books together each month. We've been doing it for years now. We usually choose 2 books a month. For January, we chose these 2. Actually, I already got my hold on Libby for that one, so I'll probably listen to that one next after I'm done with the current audiobook I'm on. But yeah, we choose 2 books each month and we read them, and then every couple months we meet up for breakfast or lunch or something, and we chat about the books we've read and we keep going. We've been friends for a few years now, so we definitely want to keep this tradition going. And yeah, this is my page. It should have enough room to fit all 12 months if we read 2 books a month, so 2 more should fit there, and so on and so forth. For this next spread, this is my spooky book club that I started with my best friend last year. We started in September. For January, we're reading Carmilla. So the picture is actually a little bit bigger than the other ones, just because here we'll only be reading 1 book a month, and I think they fit perfectly that way. Yeah. My next book club is the Los Angeles Book and Sip Book Club. This is a big book club that I'm a part of, but it's on hiatus right now. So I don't have a book for January. I might not have one for February in the next couple months while they find a new president to kind of host things. But I really had fun being part of this book club the last year and a half. It's just a bunch of gals getting together and having drinks and talking about books. I met some really nice people on there, but you know, again, it's on hiatus, so this is just a placeholder for when that's back. This next one, it's for a book. Let me see. Book Boutique Retreats South Bay Book Club. So if you're on Bookstagram, you might have seen book retreats hosted by these 2 lovely ladies. Their Instagram is Boutique Book Retreats, I think is what it's called. Anyways, they live really close to me, and they have a monthly book club that they host at a local brewery. January's book is Face Off, and today is actually the book club meeting, but I didn't finish the book on time, so I actually ended up not going, and I am filming this video instead. So I want to finish this book this month. I normally read most of the books that are chosen, but I don't always go to the book clubs meetings just because of, you know, life. So I still enjoy being part of this book club. They're super nice, and I have a fun time discussing books with them. So this is just this random idea that I've been kind of doing for a couple years. I decided to call it Forgotten TBR this year. Basically, I take all my old reading journals and list out all the books that I didn't get to that were on TBRs from before. So in my reading journal in 2019, October 2019, I wanted to read Possessed and The Telling, All the Truth That's in Me, and Fairy Tales, and I didn't get to those books. Actually, I did read this one. I found out afterwards. So these are just books that I wanted to read at some point, and for some reason or other, I never got to them during the month that I was planning to, and they just never got read. But I want to read a few of these. I don't plan on reading all of them. I'm sure a lot of these are probably going to end up DNFs anyways, because I can see that my reading tastes have changed since the beginning of this to more recent ones. But I do want to give them a chance and see what I find. So that's what this spread is. And then I did write a hauled books and unhauled books spread to keep track of the books that I buy and books I get rid of. So far I've gotten one book and gotten rid of one. So 1 for 1. I'm trying not to buy too many books this year. Definitely every year I try not to buy too many books, and I'm pretty good about it actually. I don't own too many books that I haven't read. I like to buy books that I have read that I've really loved. Like I said, I'm a harsh reader, so I don't like to have books on my shelves that I don't love. So once I've read a book and I didn't love it, I usually sell it on Pengo, or I give it to a little free library. I give it away for, you know, to other people. But this year, my husband and I are keeping a book fund box on our shelf, and we are saving $5 for every book we finish. I currently owe the box $5, and at the end of the year, we're gonna do a book shopping spree. So I'm trying to keep this list at a minimum. That way, at the end of the year, I can really fill it up with all the books that I loved. I made a little DNF graveyard for any of the books that I don't finish this year. I usually DNF a few books every year, so they will have a special spot to come and die in my journal. So this is my January spread. Kept it simple. I was gonna add the calendar at the bottom. I didn't do that. Decided to just, that's my title page, that's it. Doesn't need to be much. This is my January TBR. I've read one book off of this so far, and it is currently the 12th, so we'll see how well I get to the end. I want to list off the books that I read, book title, format, rating, add a favorite book of the month, and then some random stats. And that is it for this reading journal. I haven't added anything else. The rest of the peaches are nice and crispy. I don't think there's anything back here. But yeah, that's it. I do have a couple things to update. Since I have read one book, that's it for my reading journal. I'm pretty proud of this page. This is my favorite spread. Took me the longest, and I kept messing up by smearing the ink, which drives me nuts. But everything else is not really too artistic or has too much going on. This one's actually another favorite. I love the colors. Blue is one of my favorite colors, and again, I love the cats. So yeah, I'm excited to be back to book journaling, and we'll see how well I do. Hopefully I'll be able to share this at the end of the year when it's all filled up. And usually, I don't know if this happens to everyone, but usually by like September, like the last few months of the year, I just do not keep up with my journal. I don't know what it is, but usually fall comes around and I'm like just writing lists at the end, not even writing cute spreads. Maybe if I pre-made the spreads, that would work better. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one.